Dustin Long, NBC Sports. There's a lot of talk since last week's race about the fuel saving and how, obviously, that's always been an important part, but how much it's grown even more so, particularly at that race the last couple of years. What can be done, if anything, in terms of taking emphasis off of that and allowing you guys to do a little bit more or race a little bit more as opposed to riding around? Or is this what you've got? And could anything change for this weekend?
Yeah. Good question. We kind of talked about it in our Chevy meeting last week amongst the other drivers, and there was really no solution that came to the forefront. The only one that I really had was to reduce the fuel cell size in half to just create more opportunities of coming to pit road, to just break it up more. But then you put your pit crew and the guys on pit road in more danger. You know, you put twice as much emphasis on doing all of that. But you know, that when you come to pit road, it kind of breaks up the field for a little while, right? Like, you take about 10 laps to kind of get it all sorted back in and get going again. Well, we go, 33 laps on fuel? If you go 15 or 16 and it takes 10 to bunch everybody back up, well, now you're getting ready to pit again. So you're not going to sit there and save. You're going to be going all out as much as you can and making sure that you're not breaking, that you're not fuel saving in order to do the leapfrog strategy. I mean, a couple guys said, no, you'd still do the same thing. I don't know that you would.
Is it a problem? Is problem the right word, or is it just an evolution?
I believe it's a problem. The start of the race last week for the Daytona 500, we're all sitting around there running half throttle, not passing, just riding in a line. And I felt disgraceful myself, being a race car driver, wanting to go fast and lead laps and win the Daytona 500. And that was our strategy that we had to employ at the start of the race, because everybody was doing it. I mean, the pace, when you're running wide open and you're in a draft, your pace is probably a 46.30. We were running 49.80s, almost 50-second lap times. It was pathetic. I was like, how slow are we going to go? You know? And so I felt bad for the fans. I was like, this is not good for them. It's not what I wanted to be doing. But when you kind of get in that situation, you can't, I don't know what you do. The third lane could have developed. It was so early in the race. Nobody wants to develop a third lane. Like, we're riding. It's a 500-mile race. Don't blow everything up in the first stage, right? So, but somebody could have just pulled out into the outside lane and literally just ran to the front and done whatever the heck they wanted to do. So I was surprised nobody did that.
And one of the last things, and thank you, is when you say disgraceful, I mean, there are a lot of races where it's a 500-mile race. You've got to, like you say, you can't lose it immediately. You've got to take your time to kind of build up. It's still, the cars are too wide. It still, I guess, kind of looks good visually in a sense, maybe for a fan perspective. If you don't have a stopwatch, can you really tell? So,
yeah, but there's no passing. Like, people want to see passing. The fans are all about, hey, we want to see racing. We want to see that's not racing. It's riding. And yeah, back in the days, sure, you had 500, 600-mile races where you needed to ride for a while. But at least you're still trying to, Coke 600, for instance, right? It's a long damn race. But you're at least still trying to pass the guy in front of you and get position as the day goes on. You're not just going to ride in 15th for the first 100 laps and be like, yeah, cool, I'm good with riding 15th right now. No, you want to get further up the ladder and run with speed and your talent and your car's ability and everything else. And doing what we did last week, you might as well pull the cars out of the parking lot and run rental cars around.